Okay, I'm going to go over the answers to the back of the worksheet for the multi-step equations. Now, I will tell you the answer to this is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they're numbered across. Number 4 should be y equals 3, and 7 is y equals 1. So if you're checking your answers, I'm sorry if that messed you up. All right, we're going to start with this one. All right, I'm going to cover this up. Okay, this side needs to be, I need to combine these two like terms. So that's 6x plus 5 equals 29. I forgot to draw my line. Okay, that's as simple as it'll go. I need to try to get this by itself, so I'm going to subtract 5 on both sides. This is going to be 24. I'm going to put my equal sign on my line. This cancels to 0, and I bring down my 6x. Now it's just a one-step equation. I divide on both sides because 6 is being multiplied by x. When I divide, that cancels to 1, so I have 1x. 24 divided by 6 is 4. Yep. All right, here, I don't need to simplify. My first step is to simplify. There's no distributive, there's no like terms. Okay, so I'm just going to move. I'm going to move anything, any variables to the left, constants to the right. Okay, here's a variable, so it's going to stay over here. Okay, variables, constants. But this constant needs to go over here, so I'm going to use my inverse. So the opposite of plus is minus 19 on both sides with the number. Okay, this cancels to 0, gives me a 0 pair, and I just have 4x left. I also have to remember to bring that down. 7 minus 19, it's going to be a negative 12. And then I need to bring down the negative 2x. Now this side just has variables, but this side has both. I need to move this variable over here. So I'm going to, this is a negative, so I'm going to add 2x to both sides. This cancels and leaves my negative 12. 4 plus 2, 4x plus 2x is 6x. Now I just have a one-step equation. This is multiplication. I'm going to divide both sides by 6. That gives me 1. X equals 2. But wait a minute. This is a negative 2. Negative 12, I mean. So this has to be a negative 2. Because if I divide a positive into a negative, I get a negative. Watch those signs. All right, this is one that might freak you out a little bit because we haven't done, well, not this in a while. But y over 5, don't look at it as a fraction. All it is a division problem. This is y divided by 5. Just like if it was 5y, it's 5 times y. Okay? So don't think about it as a fraction. Just leave it alone. And we know we're going to have to get this by itself. So first I'm going to look at what else is on this side of my problem. 6 minus 3 is 3. So I'm going to bring down the y over 5. There's a positive 3 equals negative 7. Okay, so now I still have to get rid of this 3 before I tackle that looking thing. So minus 3 on both sides. Cancels out, and I have y over 5. Now here, a negative 7 and a negative 3 is negative 10. Now, it's not as scary because it's just the opposite of this. When we have a number being multiplied, we divide. If we have a number being divided, we do the opposite. We're going to multiply by 5. The same thing as 5 over 1. These two 5s cancel, and it leaves 1x. So just my x. Over here, I have to do the same thing. I have to do times 5 to keep it balanced. So a negative 10 times 5 is a negative 50. Check, check, check. Okay. Remember, you can pause this anytime and go back and watch it again, but I'm trying to do it quickly. This one, I'm going to simplify first. I see distributive property, so I'm going to do that first. I'm going to draw the rainbow. 2 times y, 4y. Then I also have to distribute to this number, so that's going to be a negative 4. So I took care of that. I just have to bring down this. Okay, now this is already simplified, so I'm just going to bring it down. And it's like now, this problem's gone. This is our new problem. Okay, this has 2 pieces. This has 3, so I need to simplify. I can see that the -4 and the 13 are like terms, so I can add those together. -4 and 13 is going to give me 9, a positive 9. And I bring down the 4y because we didn't do anything with it. Equals, I'm just going to bring this down again. I haven't done anything with it. So again, look, this is my new problem. Okay. Now I'm just going to move things around. That's our second step. So I know, I look here, this stays, but this has got to go. So I'm going to do inverse operations, cancels. I'm going to bring the 2y down, and then 15 minus 9 is going to be 6. Okay, I can move my paper down. This is my new problem. Okay, now I need to move this over here, so I'm going to do the inverse because this is positive. I'm going to do negative on both sides. This cancels and leaves my 6. 4 minus 2 is 2y. It's just a 2-step now. Y equals 3. What number is that? 4? Oh, yep, 4. All right, on to number 4. Oh, 5. This one looks long, so I'm going to look at it side by side. Draw my line. Okay, this has 3. I need to move it down to 2. Here's my like terms. That's 9 plus 5d equals 5d and -3. So that's 5 minus 3 is 2d minus 6, because I didn't do anything on my 6. So I've used all those. This is my new problem. Okay? All I do now is move. Okay, this 9 needs to be over there, so that's positive because there's no sign. I can put a positive if I want to, so I'm going to do the opposite. That cancels. 5d equals 2d. It's -6 and -9. Look, if I do -6 minus 9, because that's what this is saying, anytime I subtract with negatives, I'm going to change it to positive and put that negative with the number. So I can see that I'm really adding. So this is going to be a -15. Okay, now this side's good. It's just got my variables. This side has both, so I need to move my variable. This is a positive 2, so I'm going to subtract 2d from both sides. This leaves my -15. 3d, now it's just a 2-step. Divide by both sides, d equals -5. Because remember, this is negative divided by positive. Check. All right. I'm going to cover this up too. Just helps you remember you're not going to do things on either side. First, we've got to simplify. Let's see. 2d 60, that's 8d plus 3. Here I've got to do my distributive property. 5d plus 15. Okay, here is my new problem. All I have to do is move the things where they need to be. Variables over here, constants over here. I'm going to keep my 8d. I'm going to move my 3. Okay, here 15 minus 3 is 12, -12. But I haven't done anything with my 5d yet, but I do have to move it. I'm going to just subtract it because it's positive. Okay, so this is going to give me 3d equals -12. Now I'm down to a 1-step. Okay, all right, now this one might have messed some of y'all up, but we did it as an example on the front. So hopefully you remembered. We could do 3/2 with the distributive property, but there's a way we can avoid that. We've got an equation. So if I multiply this fraction by its reciprocal, which is just the opposite, okay, 3 times 2 is 6, 2 times 3 is 6, that just equals 1. So this cancels out, and I just have x plus 1, because 1 times x is x, 1 times 1 is 1, okay? But if I do that over here, I've got to do it over here. I've got to multiply by the same thing. So this is a whole 3. I'm going to put it over 1 so it's easier to multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. I know that 3 goes into 6 2 times, so this is just x plus 1 equals 2. Easy peasy, minus 1, x equals 1. Well, no, number 1, 7, check. All right, again, here's another distributive property. 3 times x plus 3 times 4, okay? I'm just gonna bring down my 12 plus 3.
We have one quick announcement this afternoon, very important. If you are an athlete or any other extracurricular activity that you ride the activity bus tomorrow, there will not be an activity bus tomorrow afternoon. So please make note that tomorrow, Friday, there will be no activity bus. So you need to make sure that you have plans for tomorrow afternoon transportation if you ride the activity bus. There will not be an activity bus tomorrow. Hope everyone has a great afternoon. At this time, all car riders and C-handle walkers are dismissed.
Okay, so here I forgot. I can combine these two because this is a number and a number, a constant and a constant. So 12 plus 3 is 15, and so I just rewrote this. So there's my new problem. Okay, so I did my distributive, but here I could have just added here and wrote 15 there, but I just wasn't paying attention. But now I've got this, so it's just a 2-step. Minus 12, 3x equals 3. Yeah. Divide. Hopefully you've got that step down. Okay, this is just another problem. This is going to stay the same because I can't combine. 5x, 7, and 2x, I can combine 2x and 5x. That's going to give me 5x minus 2x. It's just 3x plus 7. Okay, now I've got to move my 13. And actually, let me show you something. Instead of moving my 13, I don't really want to deal with negatives. So this is where sometimes it's okay to do constants on this side, variables on this side. If I can see ahead of time that if I move this over here, I'm going to have a negative, I would probably do minus x minus x. Because I can also see if I move this over here, it's going to be a negative 2. And I just like to avoid negatives. So that cancels that x out, and it leaves me 13. 3x minus x is 2x plus 7. Okay, so it works either way, just the majority of the time. Look, 8 out of 9, it works better to do the x on this, variables on this side, constants on this side. But this time, I just didn't want to deal with a negative. So now I'm going to subtract 7,
All bus riders are dismissed.
6, then divide. Nope, wrong thing. Divide by 2, x equals 3. Let me just show you what it would look like if I did it the other way. Okay, let's say we started here, x plus 13 equals 3x plus 7. Let's say I did it the other way. I did minus 13, 7, and positive 7 plus is going to be a negative 6. Okay, then I'm going to take away 3x from both sides. That's going to give me 2x. That cancels, and I have a negative 6. It'll still work out. All right, so then I'm still going to divide both sides by negative 2. Okay, when I divide a negative by a negative, I get a positive. So that leaves me a positive x. Negative into a negative leaves me a positive 2. So the answer turns out, but sometimes having these negatives kind of makes it harder. So just know it's okay to move constants over here and variables over here. All right, I hope that helped. You can rewind and watch any of them over again. We'll have our test tomorrow. Good luck.